a gel for that one? Is the lighting okay? You guys? Doing social media. Can you go further back? If there's any way to soften it now, I would appreciate it if you could do that. I don't think you should be shooting up at me. Can I bring this down a little bit more? Much better. Am I in the right place? Yeah, it's a huge pimple here. Like, what? All these things that never happen. Do my eyes look red? Every time there's a fly.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I see what you're getting in there? You just tell me when you're ready. Planet collapses every night. We spend half our life in this other dimension daily, and it's real when we're there, and then we wake up and we're in this dimension, and this feels real because we're here. I think about these things every day. I'm kind of in awe of them. So it all seems like a dream. Nothing's really real, except those moments of deep sleep when we have no identification.
The first time I got gonged, my impression was that I was listening to the universe singing about itself. I think part of the power of the gongs has to do with the fact that they're metal, copper and bronze and tin and nickel, and they're connected to the earth in a very substantial way. They are the earth. Just very simple and elemental. Now that I've been working with the gongs for a matter of months, I can say without hesitation, because I've witnessed it, that these instruments have the ability to affect people physically, but beyond physically, their mind state seems to be transformed. There's scientific data about gongs where they analyze brain waves, and the conclusion seems to be that a gong can put people into a meditative state almost instantly. So there's some kind of physiological transformation going on, and it comes from the energy that's released by the gongs. And it's a multi-spectrum sound wave that vibrates every part of your being. My experience is that it has completely transformed my life. It's transformed what I'm doing. It's transformed how I feel. It's transformed my physical body, and it's transformed my mind.
Mom, could I have that
I'm
sheet?
playing up for the camera. I didn't know you were filming today. I have no makeup on and I'm not having it. Anyway,
There's no light, don't worry.
carry on.
And maybe we'll just do like a whole natural environment.
Oh, that would be
No
beautiful.
graphics, no flashy anything, just beautiful
Oh, I love that
trees
idea.
and flowers and plants.
I love the idea
Okay.
of a digital forest. We have to consider some people are going to have really intense reactions.
They may.
We have to be prepared for that.
They will may.
You know? I
We'll
mean,
have two
even in my
people-
shows, I've had people completely fall apart
Yeah.
in the audience. Yeah, I'm not gonging. So,
Now, we need some time for that audience to decompress and land back on Earth before we bring the next audience in.
you know, I think people might get reborn.
Mock them up.
Perhaps they might die.
Please don't leave your
Body.
your rebirthing
Please
material.
take your body with you when you leave.
There you go. Please don't feed the gongs.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna wrap this meeting up and go move some gongs.
One of the questions that came up early on is what are we doing? Is this entertainment? Is this sound healing? And that's why we came up with the term transformance. And we call it a performance soundscape. So there's an element of performance to it, but there's also an element of transformation. When Armin and I first started working on Transformance, our first idea was just gong and theremin. The gong is kind of the field of sound, the bass, the energy, and then the theremin is the information, the narrative, the soprano, telling the story. But it's not a story until it's completed in the mind of the people who are listening.
I felt like I was like going into a dream, and I saw this little child.
Men dancing ritualistically in circles.
They're administering laughing gas to you.
I saw him walking throughout his life and climbing this like tower.
Maybe whirling dervishes type things.
I feel like I might have gotten a glimpse of the future
It's like right when the nitrous oxide goes into your body, but right before you actually start going numb.
These dark creatures were grabbing at this child.
有一些那种很深的黑洞。
High drive, hyperdrive, hyper-real drive.
But I began to fly for a little bit, but not like I saw myself flying.
The moment between a moment.
I don't know who the child was.
The core of civilization, the core of spirituality.
I'm wondering if it's maybe metaphorical.
And then there was this sigh of relief that came extraordinary.
Well, I was born in Iran into a very eccentric household. And then we went on vacation to Europe and here to America. And the revolution happened, so we never went home. And trauma. And then I went to school in Boston for a few years and moved to New York when I was 15 and got into like the drag scene and the theater scene. Then the theremin came, saved my life. I've been playing the theremin for 18 years. It provided a landscape for me to enter music. You know, I was always surrounded by music and obsessed with it, but never really had a good enough voice. So it opened up this whole life that I did not expect to have. To me, the stage is kind of like an altar. For the transformance, I was only playing sacred tones to affect, you know, kind of like a sacred healing on the audience.
There's this world where I don't feel awake and I don't feel asleep that I seem to experience a lot with the gongs. In that state, I often meet people who I don't know, but who are fully formed characters, as though they exist outside of me. I don't know where they come from, I don't know who they are, but we interact as though we're in some nightclub of dreams where people go and meet. And then I'll kind of wake up and realize, oh, I'm in the gong room, and then kind of slip back into it.
I see the gongs like the planets and the theremin as kind of spirit. So even though you strike the gong, after that strike, the sound reverberates for like minutes. The theremin is infinite. It's up to me how long that note lasts. It could last for an hour if I don't stop it. And that note comes out of nowhere and goes nowhere. They're both kind of ethereal in this way. We're creating this portal of energy and evolution. It's a service. In the end, it's like church. everyone gets to be God.